Here's a fun little video that will teach you how to create 100 of one drawing using Scratch. Make a drawing on a piece of paper. I'm going to use a colored picture. You might want to as well. I've opened up the Scratch program and I'm going to start by getting rid of the cat. I click the scissors at the top and I click on the cat and the cat is gone because I want to use my own drawing. Down here where it says New Sprite, I'm not going to choose a sprite from the library. I'm going to use my own drawing. On the far side is the button that I use to take a picture of my drawing. Once as I click the button and hold the picture up, I'm going to try and get it really close. I didn't draw this. It's just a picture I have handy. I'm going to use this. This is good enough. I click the Save button, and I've created a sprite, an object that can move around the screen, and added it to my project. I want to change it. I want to remove the background. So I go up here into Costumes, and I can use this Select tool, clicking, to drag a box around everything that is not my drawing. And then I click the Delete key on my keyboard. And I do that again. Drag a box around what I don't want, press the Delete key. If I want to, I could also use the eraser to very carefully erase the edges, like this. If I make a mistake, oops, I can click the Undo button over here. Let's get rid of more pieces of the frog. And that'll do. Now I want this frog to be reproduced 100 times. I go over here to Scripts, and I'm going to give it some code. Under Events, I'm going to choose when the green flag is clicked. And I drag it over. How I make a copy of it is to create a clone. And that code is under the Control options. At the very bottom is the code to create a clone of myself. Once as I do that, the clone is going to be placed on top of itself. Let's run the program and I'll show you. It looks like nothing's happened, but there's actually two frogs now as I drag them around. When I stop the program, the clone disappears and the original one stays. I want to put my clone on a random place on the screen. Notice down here this X and Y. These numbers are telling you exactly where your mouse is. See how big the X can get? All the way up to 240. It can get smaller, down to 100. It can even get to 0. And numbers less than 0 are called negative numbers. And it looks like they're getting bigger, but they're getting smaller. Here's negative 100, and here's negative 240. So I want X to be anywhere from negative 240 all the way up to positive 240. Under Operators, this is how I pick a random number. Negative is the minus key. So I'm going to double click and hit minus 240 for 240. In the other box, I'm going to let it go all the way up to 240. So this will pick a random number between negative 240 all the way up to positive 240. Let's use this to put it somewhere on the screen. Under Motion, I'm going to choose Go to X, Y. Here's the X value inside. So it's not a number that I know. It's going to, if I double click it, go to a random X location. Here I'm double clicking to make it run that code. Let's choose the same for Y, but notice the Y values start at the top at 180, go all the way down to 0 in the center of the screen, and all the way down to minus 180. Where was that pick random again? It's green. It must be in the operators. Pick random goes into the Y location. That's the up and down. And I want between minus 180 and positive 180. Now when I double click and run this code, it can go anywhere on the screen. But I want this to happen to the clone that I showed you. There's another option under Control for an event. When I start as a clone. Well, when I start as a clone, I want to go to that random location. Let's run the program again. And again. This is just creating one clone. I'm creating this video for hundreds a day. Maybe we want to create 100 of them. Let's repeat this line of code that creates the clone 10 times. There's 10 of them, plus my original. So let's create 100 clones. Poof. I've just created 100 clones here, plus my original, that's 101. So if I want to say that I have exactly 100 on the screen, I'll make it one less, 99. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you follow along, pause this video, and create it yourself.